Hey guys, this is HD, what's going on? And I'm here to bring you guys a special set of games from the GameCom Plantronics FaceOff Showmatch. This is the very first Showmatch I believe that they have set up, and for those of you guys who may have been following the event or have been voting for the player to play, thank you, for making this possible. Also big thanks to the guys out at GameCom Plantronics for setting this up. They make some awesome headsets, by the way. I'm using it, very comfortable. And essentially what the Showmatch was is they picked a player to kind of be the guy who will be there playing the best of three, and that's EG.Incontrol. EG.Incontrol is the red Protoss at the 9 o'clock position here, and I've been hearing some rumors here. Apparently he's been getting into pretty good shape, not physically, obviously. He's great shape physically. I meant in StarCraft 2. He's actually been playing a lot, been getting really good. I've been hearing from Taylor, my good friend ping user who plays against him, that he's been like really practicing, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing EG.Control because I haven't casted him for like the longest time. This should make for a pretty interesting set. I guess getting back to what I was saying, the GameCom face-off, they selected EG.Control, and then they selected 4 other players to choose from. The community could vote on them, and if you guys voted, then you guys got a chance to win a free headset. So if you guys did win it, let me know. That's great, man. Congratulations. I love these headsets. But essentially, you guys had to select a player to play against him, and the choices were Kawaii Rice, Ver, Hawk, and Whitera. And then instantly, everybody said, alright, come on, seriously, obviously Whitera is going to win here. So we are going to say, let's vote for Ver. And I thought that was so interesting and awesome because, I love my man Whitera, man. He's awesome. But if you put him in a vote like that, of course he's going to win, right? So the community rose up and said, you know what? We're going to vote for somebody different this time. We're going to make it different. And then they were like, let's vote for Ver. And I think the number one reason for voting for Ver is because he's a sexy beast. It was like 4 options: sexy beast, best article writer, and some other random ones. So he got voted number 1 because he's sexy beast, and he is going to be playing here against EG.Control. So we've got the sexy beast from xSix.Ver, and he's going to be playing against the manly Protoss EG.Control, who is getting in shape. And sorry, no disrespect meant to any of these guys, obviously. I just like to troll around a little bit from time to time because it's fun, and it's going to be a Terran versus Protoss. So we'll see what happens here. The map is this Shattered Temple? Oh god, this is like from way back in the day, so it's a pretty old map. We'll see what happens here. Ver's going for a quick command center after the 1 barracks. That's actually pretty common. A lot of times these days you'll see Terrans just go right away for the economy-based play. EG.Control has also gone 1 gateway core expand, so he's looking quite standard himself as well. I do apologize. I don't know if you guys hear that sound in the background. That is my dog. She's just newborn, so she's like exploring her room right now, my room that is, and everything she finds she just wants to stuff in her mouth, and so I do apologize about that. Take it away from her. And here we go. EG.Control coming in with a Zealot. Gonna try to test the waters a little bit, but with 3 Marines here and good control from Ver, he should be okay at fending off this Zealot pressure. And really the Zealot's just designed to get inside the base and see what's going on. And immediately, EG.Control gets in, he sees the 2 additional barracks coming up, he sees, more importantly, the command center on the low ground, and so he knows that Ver is going for a macro-based opening. And most likely you're not going to see any type of early pressure, nothing too crazy or anything like that. And EG.Control back at home says, okay, well, you're building up eco, I'm going to go ahead and grab a second gas here and get my economy rolling as well. And, for Protoss, when you see how much gases they're going with, that's a good way, that's a good indicator, I think, especially in ZVP, to see if they're going to be teching up and staying inside their base, or if they're going to be moving out and doing something crazy like a 6-gate. The less gases they have, the always more cautious you kind of have to be. Very similar for Zerg too. When you see a Zerg not getting too many extractors, then and actually no gas at all, then he's just droning up. And he's playing a very macro-based game. But the more gases you see, the more dangerous it is, And back at home here, Ver, a former teammate of mine when I used to play on xSix. I never really played too competitively, but I've seen him play before, and he's extremely talented, by the way, guys. And back at home, he is getting additional Raxes, so also adding on that factory as well to get that quicker starport out. And this is pretty common nowadays in Terran versus Protoss. You get the factory and the starport out right away. You want to get medevac support out. I think it's even better on this map because of how close the two bases are. And it's funny because both guys here, have put their pylons and their supply depots, you know, their supply builders on the edges of their base, just right next to this ravine here. Or more like a canyon, I guess, with a river down below. So it's a good way to do that. It's a good idea to do that because you want to make sure you can scout the warp prism or the medevac drops, which could be a key factor in this game. In fact, EG.Incontrol here is getting a warp prism. So we do have a warp prism on the way here, folks, and EG.Incontrol, haven't really seen him use the warp prism before. I'm pretty interested to see how he manages this, and he's bringing in sentries right now, just one. I don't think he's gonna do the gimmicky, you know, I'm gonna drop 4 sentries in your base and la force field your ramp. But he is going to bring a sentry nevertheless and 2 zealots. So he's got some firepower here and some map control, some battle terrain control in the form of a force field. He's also got the observer at the front door here. Now, if he wanted to bring a bunch of sentries and force field this ramp off and warp in a bunch of army, he actually could, because Ver's entire army is at the natural right now. But EG.Incontrol is actually going to just go behind the main on the left side and drop his zealots down. And let's see how much damage he can do with this. Immediately we have a stim coming, or not a stim, but Ver just running right back up the ramp. And he wants to, of course, dispatch the zealots and the sentries right away. Only 1 supply depot killed off, though. And that's totally manageable, really. You know, considering how much damage a warp prism really can do, I'm actually shocked that EG.Incontrol didn't make use of his observer. He saw that most of the army was at the front door. I would have thought for sure he was going to come here and then try to force field the ramp and then maybe warp in more sentries, because he didn't bring in 4 originally. It was just 1. But he's still coming back here with the same warp prism, and there is a sensor tower up now, along with the same original army that was there to dispatch the first drop. So that warp prism will probably have to run away, and now with the sensor tower locked down in a fantastic spot, Ver's got complete vision, man. That mini-map, that circle right there shows all impending drops, and now he's gonna go for a counter drop of his own, at the same time coming in the front door. So EG.Incontrol's army has to be split up here. EG.Incontrol sends the Colossus to the back, but it's taking serious damage. He's got to be careful, and Ver can just stim up and take that Colossus down. Oh, that's painful. And EG.Incontrol, meanwhile, can't even handle the front door either. Ver is just coming in with the double-pronged attack, and I don't know if big man EG.Incontrol is going to be able to hold this off. He's going to need to warp in more units right now. His warp gates just cycled through a new round of zealots, but immediately Ver also says, hey, you bring in reinforcements, I can reinforce too. And bring in marines of his own. Now the zealots are doing some pretty good damage up in here. Last marauder falls. Now it's just an SCV and a handful of marines, and another Colossus comes out, thankfully, for EG.Incontrol. And he is going to be able to hold that attack. So nicely done right there by EG.Incontrol. Also has a warp prism, the same one in fact, in the back here, using the fact that Ver was attacking him and realizing, hey, you're distracted, maybe I can sneak in this warp prism, and he has been able to. But meanwhile, he loses his Colossus. Oh, I don't even know why it stepped down the ramp there. Maybe he was going to try to just walk it over into the Terran main, but it was unsuccessful, as you know, Ver probably saw it in the sensor tower range and brought his units there, or perhaps his drops were coming inbound at the same time the Colossus went down the cliff. And now these zealots still ripping through these SCVs have gotten 6 kills of their own. EG.Incontrol has to be careful though, because there is some anti-air there in the form of 2 marines. Drops off his zealot, and he should be able to, oh no, the Vikings have come out, so the warp prism will be chased down. Meanwhile, a Colossus finding its way in between the 2 bases, but 2 Vikings are coming in, and the Colossus from EG.Incontrol is gonna get sandwiched. How do you like EG.Incontrol sandwiches? This is gonna be pretty tasty for Ver, and he takes down 1 more. That's 3 Colossus this game that have fallen, and now probes have to be called off the line. The worker kill tab not that high, but it's really the units lost tab here. For Protoss has lost 5,700 already, and the number continues to go up. So many probes now have fallen down as well, and Ver's attack very successful here, despite, you know, not exactly ending the game. He just did so much damage in the form of killing off Colossus and killing off probes. He's got 48 to 31 right now, and once again, I look at the units lost tab. It's 6,100 to 3,100. So very successful attack by Ver, and it was quite a skirmish. You know, there was drops going on in both bases, attacks in no man's land right here with Colossus just deciding to come down there. So that was very interesting. But with Ver now taking a substantial lead, he's looking to capitalize on that with another command center. And I definitely agree with this. This is a great idea. Once you establish any type of ego lead, in most cases you want to just go ahead and expand and continue on if you don't feel like you can end the game right away. But what about In.Control? What is his mindset right now? And it looks like he's going to go for a counterattack, and I definitely agree with this. He's taken some heavy losses. Right now, he's got a significant, Colossus count on the field. Maybe he can look to make some type of an attack happen, because if he just sits back and try to macro out of this, I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't know if he can catch up, because he's already down a base. He is already down in so many departments. He might just look to do some massive counterattack, try to end the game that way. Now, it looks like he's going to be able to clean up this drop, which is good for him. Every little win he can take now, those incremental victories will definitely add up. He takes out the medevacs first. Notice how In.Control is focused down the medevacs. That second one didn't go down right away, but the first one did, and so he cuts off any escape route for those poor and hapless Marines. And that is definitely going to help a lot to boost his confidence here. But will he go for that all-out counterattack I was mentioning? He just finished +1/+1. I believe it was one weapons that just finished up. And he did finish extended thermal lance as well. He's got to be careful. His Colossus are kind of out in the middle of the open. But he's got pretty good map control right now. And it looks like, yeah, I think he's going to go for the big counter here. But at the same time, Ver also coming in with Marines at the front door of the Protoss player. Going to shred through some more probes. Oh, yeah. Ver gonna take that down, and In.Control immediately realizes he's out of position, has to pull back his army, but his probes are just gonna get demolished here, and Ver is such good micro, and the force fields come out, but wow, I think the damage was done. Once again, that is just drilling that nail an inch deeper into the proverbial coffin. And now it is 37 workers killed to 7 workers count at 65 to 38. In.Control has got to go with a big counter. It's his last hope. It's a last-ditch effort. He might be waiting for Zealot legs, otherwise known as charge, and +2 armor before he goes in, which, not a bad idea, those are pretty big upgrades to have, especially if you're going to be facing off against bunkers. But the longer you wait, he's going to have to take another 40 seconds or so. The more that Ver realizes what's happening, and he could just build more bunkers, he can get more units at the front door. Notice he's not making any SCVs right now at all. He's just focusing completely on the defensive effort, adding on more production as well. And, In.Control, I guess he's just got to fall back, man. He is still down a base. He's waiting for Storm now as well. And, Storm it's pretty good. It's pretty good against Terran, especially if you can mix it in with Colossus to force him to switch and juggle between Vikings and Ghosts. But, all this time that he's taking to try to catch back up, I don't think you can when the player is one base ahead of you, and Ver is going to take the gold as well. Oh, this is just so brutal for In.Control. He's got to make his move, man, and he's just taking so long that he might just find that he's too far in the ditch to try to dig himself back out. And just look at the army supplies right now. It is 176 to 122. Oh my goodness. And, Storm, this is it, man. You can't, there's nothing else to wait for. I don't think he's gonna wait for example, +3. You just gotta go with Storm, man. Does he have Templar on the field? He does. He's got about 5 right now, but it looks like the Terran is the one who is done waiting. He's the one who's gonna make the attack. Ver feeling quite confident here. Gonna drop in the main at the same time attacking through the front door, and the Vikings are on the hunt here. They're going for the Colossus, man, and In.Control is gonna have to storm the Vikings. I don't know what those Marines thought they were doing, but they just ran in on move, and that's one victory that In.Control can take now. He's got to clean up this Marauder drop as well, but the Marauders take out the Nexus, and now In.Control is down 2 bases. He's also going to lose his Colossus out of position. Oh, those Vikings taking it down, and now In.Control is just left with an entire Colossus-less army, if that's a word, to describe someone's army who's just been completely neutered. It's like his man gems have been cut off, and now he's just got nothing left but zealots, sentries, and stalkers. I don't know, man. I don't think this is going to be enough, and Ver is going to have to back just to his bunkers in wariness of the counterattack, but really it's nothing, without Colossus support, without his man gems, he cannot hope to crush through nor penetrate this front door. But I guess In.Control's not going to give up yet. He did claim the 3rd over here, and he has been able to maynard some probes over. So Not going to give up quite yet, but it's still 106 supply to 186. And remember, no Nexus at the main, only has 2 bases compared to a Terran who's soon to have 4. And, you know, losing in the SCV department, losing in the Army department, losing in the Units Lost department. What other departments can I bring up? Let's check Shift C APM here, even losing in the... Actually, no, In.Control here, spamming away at the current APM at 240. Got lots to do, man, when you're on the brink of death. So here we go. Ver coming in with his army. Is he going to look to close this game out or not? Maybe just, you know, patience is key. This is virtues here, I suppose. Gonna go for a drop, I guess, behind the Protoss third at the same time as an attack on the ground. And that should do it for Ver in the first game of this best of 3. There comes an Archon getting pushed into battle. It's like, I don't want to fight, guys. No, you have to fight. The Zealots push forward. Nice storm. But Ver, even nicer with the dodge, didn't take too much damage. But it looks like In.Control is going to clean up some of the ground army, but gotta remember, there's a drop in the back, and In.Control trying to warp in some Zealots right now, and a couple Templars, so he can feed back the Medivacs, or perhaps just drop a Storm, depending on what he wants to do. No, can't Storm, obviously, because they don't come out with enough energy, so just feedbacks, but not enough to kill off the Medivacs. And meanwhile, on the ground, it looks like In.Control is still pushing pretty good force fields. Oh, that's a brutal storm. Very nice by In.Control. At the end of this game, I think, getting a lot more cost efficient. And looking like he had some slim hope, but not enough. Not enough In.Control. It's okay. It's a best of 3. So we'll see if the community voted sexy man beast Ver here can take out In.Control in the next game. Pretty fun cast. I hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll see you guys in game 2 of this best of 3 set. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the winner gets $1,000 in cold hard cash. So this is, you know, there's something up for grabs here. It's a G, baby. Put that in the bank. So we'll see who gets to stack their bread after this game. And this is HT signing out.